Hot chocolates are the ready, people. This is gonna be a long night.
So, day one was pretty much getting character sprite done and finalized. So welcome to day two, although I'm probably going to release this along with day three, because otherwise you're going to be overwhelmed with stuff, for lack of a better word. I might actually release this on its own, like make it a daily thing. But I've actually recorded a little bit of footage before this. I managed to fix a really annoying fault I had with Acheron. Okay, check out what I managed to fix. You know that little problem we had when you stopped, they didn't actually stop straight away? Well, I has fixed it. It's fixed. Wait, where you are? Come back here. Oh shit, hang on. Which was the previous game I played. There is actually footage on this channel of me playing it out of boredom. But if you... We'd managed to hook up animation to a walk cycle in that game, and one thing I'd never figured out how to do was to get him to stop walking after I'd hit the button. He'd still be kind of walking for a minute. And it was really annoying. I mean, you can ask a few other people in my class. I mean, you can't exactly ask them. You can ask Miss Knickknack. I think she's the only one you guys know who's in my class. But it was really annoying, and basically, I found out today that I only had to change one number to get it to work, and I am so happy I got that to work because it was so annoying. But that works, and you're hopefully going to see that on screen. But what I want to talk about is some of the inspiration behind the character. I mean, I'm going to talk about a few other things as well, because I've been thinking all day about how to structure an opening level. Kind of like how you structure World 1-1 in Super Mario Bros. But not quite the same, if you know what I mean. So when it came to the character, I wanted to talk about kind of what inspired him. Because basically, every bit of him is kind of a reference to something. Which, it's not uncommon of me to make everything a reference to something. I mean, whenever I have an original thought, it's really surprising. But I'm drinking my hot chocolate at the moment because it's nearly 9:30 at night here, and I've got a long night ahead. So, hot chocolate. But Dodge, his name, because I named the main character Dodge, is actually quite funny. When I originally drew him, I was thinking of the old show Buck Rogers. Don't know if you can hear there's a plane going overhead, so you could probably hear that. I'm usually pretty lucky. I usually can't hear the planes when I'm recording. But I was thinking of Buck Rogers when I drew it. I mean, it wasn't what popped in my head as I was drawing. But I've never actually watched Buck Rogers, so it felt a little weird to cite that as a reference. And what I did instead was I thought of the old Daffy Duck short cartoon they did in the 50s, which was Duck Dodgers of the 24th and a half century. And I remember that short because it was always on, like, it was on Looney Tunes a lot. I mean, they kept replaying that short, but I loved it. And when I'm bored, like, I do occasionally say, I claim this planet in the name of Mars. Isn't that lovely? I do that a lot because I get really bored and I love that phrase. That's actually a statue of Marvin the Martian in Gravity, and that popped in my head as soon as I came on. But enough about that. So I named him Dodge as part of Duck Dodgers. So that was kind of cool. His hair actually comes from the redesign of Astro Boy from the manga Pluto, which I do heavily recommend. I mean, the tie-in blog for this has like all the names and everything on. I mean, if you're wondering why I'm doing this and the blog, it's kind of the videos are for the followers of this channel because they seemed kind of interested in me doing this as a series. The blog is for academic purposes, although I have this link to the blog just in case. But yeah, his hair comes from the redesign of Astro Boy. His eyes are actually from Naruto, because I love the piercing blue of Naruto's eyes. Sounds weird, but it's just like, you can tell those are Naruto's. I mean, he's just got these really cool blue eyes. I know it's a pretty much black and white manga, but the colored images of him look really cool. There's a symbol on the side of his arm, which is a pill, that, as a lot of you well-versed anime enthusiasts probably know, comes from Akira. It's the back of Kaneda's jacket, and it usually has good for health, bad for education written on it, which I love that phrase. In fact, I was debating at one point writing the words good for the heart, bad for the brain. but considering the sprite walking left and right is flipped, it would look a little weird, because one way it would be written correctly and the other way would be written completely wrong. Well, it'd be written backwards, and I can't really think of an in-universe reason for that. If I could figure out how to completely flip the sprite either way, then I probably will just add that text on either side. I did it once in Flash. I managed to get the sprites to look 2 different ways, and I imagine it wouldn't be too difficult. But my code already has it so it flips either way, and I don't plan on changing the code too much, because I like the code I'm using. There's a few things I want to change with it. For example, I have a great amount of difficulty getting a jump to work only once. So I have an infinite jump for some reason, and I wish I only had 1 jump, so I need to figure out a way around that. That's the only code I plan on changing for Dodge. But yeah, his suit is kind of amalgam of Alien, Prometheus. My phone is going off again. Sorry, I'm reading responses on my phone. I really shouldn't. Yeah, so the suit kind of comes from Alien, Prometheus, Galaxy Quest, and Freedom, which was a 7-part series, an anime series, which I would say I recommend, but I never finished. I have it on Blu-ray, but I think I didn't watch the last 2 episodes. I don't know why. I mean, I've watched the first 3, God knows how many times. I've just never made it past those. So that's where all that comes from. The next thing I kind of want to do today is I want to fix the jumping thing, although not change the jumping animation yet. Because I want to focus on stopping him from jumping multiple times, and I'm sure there's a way I can put a limit on it. I need to have a look around at a few tutorials, see if I can figure that one out, because that's been bugging me since April. Wow. Yeah, that was the last time I revisited any of this stuff. That's kind of depressing. Okay, I am very, very proud. I fixed the jump problem. See, he can only jump once. And it was this sodding thing the whole time. So I plan on getting that done. Once that's done, I'm hoping we can build a little mini tutorial level, because, I mean, not with a lot of detail, I mean just with some basic blocks. Because if we use some basic blocks to build it, I can then swap out those sprites for better looking sprites, and I want to try and find the code I used for a falling platform, because I have this idea of like the second level, because it's not going to be a long game, of part of the floor becoming unstable and falling. So I would animate it kind of shaking a little with some steam coming out the side, and then as you walked over it would fall down. I mean, I did the same for Acheron, but they were just standard, like, sit in place blocks, and it wouldn't be too hard to get him to shake, because if you've probably seen, I quickly did the animation for him running, and I set that as default by accident, and you could see when he was standing on the spot he was running. All I would do was have a animation of the block tilting a little, and then I'd set that as the idle animation, so the block would be moving, and then once you'd walked over it, it would fall, so it would still be tilting when it fell, actually, so I need to think of that through. Yeah, so I've got a lot of stuff running around in my head of what to do. I mean, I still have my dissertation proposal to write. I have another set of blog entries for another class to write. I have work as well. I went to the gym, so I'm feeling pretty good today. I mean, pretty good. I mean, I'm feeling pretty strong today, because I managed to lift weights for the first time in years. Doesn't help being perpetually sick all the time. That's a little too much information for this. So I'm gonna plan. I was thinking of, have you ever played Super Metroid and you're like running down a corridor and then it goes down step by step by step by step? So I was gonna use a small corridor as like a running area to show this is how you run. And then I was going to get to this point where you'd have to jump up as proper platforms to go up, and that was where you'd learn the jumping mechanic. And at the top of there, you would find your weapon. I mean, I haven't drawn the weapon up yet, because I wanted to make sure all of his movement sprites worked well. So once I know I can do that, I should be okay. obviously the next part to do after that is to think about what kind of weapon does he have. Does he have a sword, or does he have, well, I say sword, like a beam katana or something, Normal Heroes reference. Or like a blaster or something, or a phaser from Star Trek. It's kind of hard to be unique on that front. I might just buy a toy BB gun from work, because we have a few kids' toys on the rack, and one of them looks like an alien hunting gun. So I might buy that, and then I know use that as a model while I'm kind of holding it so I can draw it properly, because I like having a physical model in front of me for stuff like that. I know for a program, for a project we're doing later this year, not that later, and if like a few, we're kind of starting it now, but we're in development mode for it, so we're in pre-production for this, and I'm in production for this one. That one's in pre-production, this is in production. I plan on doing a little bit of motion capture, and by that I just mean it's like rotoscoping. I'll run around a little just so I can get the sprites a bit more fluid, because I'll have a lot longer to do everything for that, and there's 2 of us working on that, so that's not too bad. But I plan on, hopefully by the end of the day, having a makeshift demo level. I don't plan on going to bed until this is done. I mean, I did the same thing yesterday. I was up till, you can actually check the timestamp on the side of my screen because I don't crop it out. I think I was up till 2, making sure that all worked, and then chucking it up online for feedback. So, yeah, I don't sleep a lot, and then I had work this afternoon, and I've got my hot chocolate now, so. It's going cold. It's slowly going cold. Sorry. Sorry, I just realised how rude I was being. Yes, and I say and yeah and but and all that. It's like, you're just gonna play the Robin Scherbatsky drinking game. Please don't, because you'll be there all day, and I don't really condone people getting drunk off anything I say. I mean, I already sound fairly monotone right now. I could keep going monotone, but it'd be really boring, and my monitor seems to be staying in the right point, and no, it's not. I can't keep up that forever.
It's like talking in the little kid's voice. It does get annoying really quickly. Of course, it does make work a lot easier when you're on the phone.
Sorry. I couldn't help it, sorry. Yeah, so that's our plan for today. Like I said, I've already recorded a little bit, so I know a portion of this will be taken up by that. I'm going to watch a few tutorials before I record anything else, so you'll notice a timestamp difference at the bottom corner. And by that, I just mean I'm going to have a look around and see if I can fix the jumping code. Once that's fixed, I'm going to throw in one temporary sprite as kind of a, this is him jumping kind of thing to let me know it will change. I may have one running around from Acheron that I did jumping sprite for. It may even be from the Nagisa sprite I did before, Kale sprite for Acheron. So that's going to be like a temporary jumping sprite. I'm just going to chuck in so you'll notice a big difference if it works. And then I'm going to build a quick demo level and run through it and then attach the code to the camera. Because you need to attach a code to the camera to tell it that this is your target to watch while you're playing through. Because if you don't have any form of code linked to your camera, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to run with your character. I learned that the hard way. And I'm now telling you guys this, because hopefully one or two of you might want to give this kind of stuff a go. And if you do, please let me know. I mean, I'm incredibly interested to see what any of you guys are doing. But I'm going to sign off now, because I'm looking at the timestamp and I'm going up to 13 minutes. And basically the only reason half the stuff went pretty quick last time is because I had to kind of edit it down to the audio, because I had nothing to put after the audio. So, some of those drawings took an hour to do. More than an hour. But I had to speed it up by like 5,000 just to get it to fit. Which I was sat there staring at it going, why did it take me so long to draw? And then getting very depressed that it did take me so long to draw. So anyway, hopefully this will be enough audio to cover today's work, because this is kind of my statement of intent, and then you see the product while I'm talking about it. So you're kind of seeing it in hindsight. It's kind of weird. But let me know if you like this. Let me know if you plan on doing anything like this. And till next time.